Welcome back to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker, owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. This is the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate, and it does it with Barb Schlinker, host of the program, and as I said, the owner broker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Barb, a lot of people look at those automated valuations like on Zillow or their neighbor's asking price to try to determine what their home is worth. So, how does a home seller decide what price to set when they are selling their home? And how do they know how much they're going to put in their pocket when it does sell?
Well, Richard, first of all, pricing to me is a skill and an art that not everybody, not every real estate agent has. I did go to appraiser school. I've been through all kinds of markets. I started in the business in the 90s. I was in the market during the meltdown. I was in the market during the boom and all the busts that have happened, and even the stagnation type, even the stagnating periods of the market. I was in the market, so I've seen what happens. And because I've got the volume of business that I can work with all the time, I know what works and I know what doesn't work. And the natural tendency of home sellers is to price their home a little bit high for negotiating room. Now, is the buyer going to ask for stuff? Are they going to come in low? Is the buyer going to ask the seller to pay their loan closing costs? Yes, plan on that. But if you price it so high that you don't get offers, guess what? 100% of nothing is still nothing. It doesn't matter what you're asking if we're not reaching the goals of getting you to the finish line and sold, right? Otherwise, it's pointless. Now, I'm not saying you have to take lowball offers or anything like that. This market is strong enough where you don't necessarily have to do that if you priced it right. Let me tell you a story. I had a listing recently, a beautiful townhome close to Cottonwood Park. Similar sales for that townhome are right at 370, several of them, recent sales. It was very good empirical data that that townhome was worth 370. We put it on the market just under 370. Guess what happened? Nothing. Nobody showed up, very few showings, no offers. So the seller asked a great question. Hey, I need to get this sold. What am I going to do? And I said, we got the marketing right. It's priced to market according to similar sales, but obviously that's not moving the bar. So if you're getting very few showings, a rule of thumb is you need to make a correction of 3 to 5%. She did 4.5. We went from 370 to 355. We got multiple offers immediately, played mom against dad, and it sold just under that 355 number very quickly. But had she slowly come down, okay, we go to 365 and then we go to 360, and it wouldn't have worked. I wouldn't have been able to lever, the two buyers against each other, and we might not have gotten an offer at all. So at the end of the day, pricing is a skill that you have to understand. And we've got a market situation right now where I believe there is a can't talk on the segment. There's a downward pressure on prices at this point because we have 31% more available homes on the market than we did a year ago, and we have less sales than we had a year ago. What does that mean? Something's got to give. Now, it doesn't happen instantly. That surge in inventory took place towards the end of May. This is just, the end of July. So we have to make sure when you go on the market right now, you are positioned to win. And no, you cannot rely on those online Zestimates. All they're doing is looking backwards at time. They're not looking at the current market trends. They're looking at what homes around you have sold for and going, oh, your home is worth this, based on some kind of computerized behind the curtain brain there, which is not always accurate. Sometimes it's close, but I would say most of the time it's not accurate. And half the time they don't even have all the data about the home or what makes it too special. So the market's going to show you right away if you missed it. If you're priced too high, you're going to get very few showings and no offers. If you're priced too low, It could be there's going to be some buyers that won't offer, they might come in even lower. I've seen it happen. I've sold probably almost 200 homes that were owned by the Secretary of Veterans Affairs. And one of the things that they do very well is pricing. Now they get two opinions of value. They get one from the agent, it's called a broker price opinion, and they get another formal appraisal. And they merge that data and they go on the market with a price that's very realistic. I would say their real target is to get it sold in less than 30 days, which the average normal market period might be more like 90. So, but typically they price very realistically and their homes sell, and many times they get multiple offers. So even the homes that I know are priced way below market, we've had 30 offers on that property. There are still going to be 5 or 10 offers where they come in stupid below that. Like I had one home that was about 2,000 square feet, and it was a fixer. There was no way you could live in that home because basically it was taken down to the studs and all the plumbing was taken out and you had to start over, right? But they priced it well below a number where a fix and flipper guy could come in there and put all that in and still sell it and make a profit. Even so, there were some buyers that came in below their very low asking price, and obviously they didn't get the house. And if you price it too high, according to the National Association of Realtors, this is not me talking, if you price it too high and slowly, slowly, slowly walk the price down, say, I'm not in a hurry, right? The actual result is going to be that you net less money. And then there are other automated valuations, but you just can't rely on that. First of all, they don't know the market. Second of all, they don't know the special features that you put into the home or that you had in the home. Like one thing I know for a fact that buyers are going to pay a premium for are mountain views. Every day, all day, they pay a premium for that. One of the websites, realtor.com, will give you 3 different sources of automatic values where the difference could be as much as 100,000. But if you price the home absolutely realistically, okay, you're going to get the most money. Let me show you a couple of examples. I sold a home last year over off of Highway 83, big, beautiful home on 5 acres. Similar sales were between just over $1 million to $1.2 million. And had they priced it at $1.2 million or $1.250 million for a negotiating room, nothing would have happened. But they priced it at $1.150 million, which was a fair number. And we had multiple offers and it sold for over $1.175 million in just 5 days. That is pricing correctly. What about a home that needs a little bit of work? Minor updating, nothing special, but maybe it had something special like this one. It had fabulous views, great schools. I really thought it was worth $675, but they came in, they priced it about 3% below that. We had 87 people at the open house and it sold for 50,000 over asking price. So you can still do that in this market as long as you understand what your competition looks like, what is it that makes you special, and how you'll be able to present the home to the market to get top dollar. And that's what we do. We sit down and show you the data. I talk to sellers all the time that said they met with some real estate agent. They just came in with comps and said, oh, your house is going to sell for this. Here, signed, which is pathetic. That's not really a benefit of working with them for some quote agent who thinks they're an expert pontificating to the seller of what their home is worth. The market is going to tell you it's not the agent, it's not the seller, it's what a buyer is willing to pay. And so we sit down and show you, we educate you all about what's going on in the market so you can make the best informed decision for yourself. At the end of the day, it's the seller's decision. But, there's closing costs associated with every sale. So you have to factor in when you sell a home, how much you're going to put in your pocket when it sells. So when we come back, we're going to talk about that, exactly what a typical closing cost is, how much you can kind of anticipate to put in your pocket when it sells. And of course, we'll talk about some tips on how to win in this market and plan to get the most money. Richard?
You're listening to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker. She's the host of the program, and she is the owner, proprietor, and broker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. You can listen to replays of the show anytime on all of the major podcast platforms, as well as her website, barbhasthebuyers.com, or search Barb Schlinker. If you're interested in talking to her, you're thinking of making a move, call Barb at 719-301-3900. Barb, so what are some of the other magic bullets on pricing your home to get that very top dollar?
Well, it seems counterintuitive, but if you slightly underprice it, you're going to make more money than if you overpriced it. And that's because of creating that demand destruction up front. If you're first time on the market, looking like you're the best deal on the market, the buyers are going to all throw their best hats in the ring. And in general, what it costs to sell a home, typically the biggest cost usually is paying off your existing loan. The benefits, if you've had the home more than 4 years, you've had a probably pretty good surge in values. Every seller's got to pay title insurance, settle up property taxes, and there'll be a few fees here and there. But at the end of the day, you got to position the home so that you get the most money. And the way that's properly done is pricing it what I call very realistically versus optimistically. Now, don't expect a bit more every time you go on the market. It doesn't always happen. And sometimes even I'm surprised. But in general, it's going to speak right back to you if you made a mistake. Like if you're getting almost no showings, either the price or the marketing is wrong. If you're getting offers, you're in the ballpark. Stay right there. But you really need to pick an agent that understands how to position the home so you get the most money. Right now, there are a whole bunch of listings that went on the market that are expiring unsold. Do you know why that's happening, Richard?
No idea at all.
A lot of people think that when they put their house on the market, it's going to sell. That's the assumption. But there's about a third of them on the market right now that sit on the market month after month. They're not selling. Eventually, the contract expires and they don't know what to do. I get calls every week about it. Well, my agents, we've been on the market for 3 months and I don't know what I'm going to do. And usually it's obvious to me when I meet with them. I'm like, well, your picture's terrible. You're not highlighting the best feature of your home. Whatever it is. Sometimes it's pricing. But at the end of the day, if they keep doing what they've been doing, they're probably going to get the same result. And right now we're seeing 1 to 2 out of 5 home sellers actually having to reduce their price weekly. If you price it right when you go on the market, that's where you get the most money. And you know what? Not all agents are the same. I've got some great videos on my YouTube channel. If you go to YouTube and you Google Barb Has the Buyers, there are some good videos about what to do and what not to do to get your house ready for sale. This show is recorded on YouTube and put up there every single week. So if you miss a segment or you want to get more information about it, that's a great resource. And I'd love to help you if you're thinking of making a move. If you are thinking of making a move, go to barbhasthebuyers.com or give us a call at 719-301-3900. Richard?
You're listening to Barb Schlinker on Your Real Estate Voice. And if you're thinking of selling your home and you want to get the most amount of money for it, then call Barb Schlinker at 719-301-3900 or visit barbhasthebuyers.com. A short break. When we come back, we'll be talking about the top mistakes that home sellers make when they're selling a home, plus Barb's hot new listings. You want to stay tuned for that.